Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And in artificial intelligence news, the fight to stop AI bots has finally just really begun. Now, here's what's going on. And as a backdrop, we all know that these big AI companies, think Microsoft, Google, OpenAI, et cetera, are scraping up via these bots as much of the internet as they humanly can in order to train their large language models and obviously other artificial intelligences as well. But a new front in this war has finally opened up, and sites and platforms are finally pushing back. So let's get to this because, quite frankly, I think this is all good news. Now, first, let's start with Reddit. Last week, Reddit introduced a whole bunch of changes that attempted to block bots from scraping its website. It said that it would basically use rate limiting as well as blocking unknown bots and instructing such systems to stay away from its website, which obviously has an absolute ton of human-generated content. It also noted that those rules could potentially limit other automated systems that are important for transparency, such as the Internet Archive, which obviously, if you don't know, saves pages basically for later access and all of that. It's a really important thing. But Reddit insisted, though, that important tools for researchers would still have access to Reddit. In other words, they're going to look at the Internet Archive and see, how they can validate them and other researchers and just make sure they're not scraping this for AI use. Now, Internet infrastructure company Cloudflare has now introduced a range of similar tools, and they've told their customers that they basically now have a way of declaring their AI independence. All Cloudflare customers will get an easy button to block all AI bots if you're using Cloudflare as a web application firewall. And a lot of firewall makers now have artificial intelligence, URL blocking, all these kinds of things in place as well. And so that's a really good sign as well from one of the largest, if not the largest, content delivery network and web application firewall provider on the planet. Now, on top of this, and of course, we have all of these legal challenges, which is essentially what launched this fight. The New York Times has sued OpenAI and Microsoft over its artificial intelligence systems, arguing that it's infringed on the paper's copyright and using New York Times' articles to train their AIs. We've also seen lawsuits from creators such as comedian Sarah Silverman, George R.R. Martin, who did Game of Thrones, and a whole bunch of others, to basically say, hey, we want to get compensated for this, which is why I do think the artificial intelligence companies are looking to get basically a circumvent in the copyright and intellectual property laws to allow them to simply do what they're doing. So anyway, I say all of this to say that this is really starting right now in terms of this fight and pushback. And I think it's really important that if you are running any kind of website and you are generating something that is new or unique, that as you are putting it out there, you're doing everything you can to not let others train on this without being compensated. And that would mean all the ones I just talked about, as they are scraping absolutely everything up that they possibly can. So enable those features, use Cloudflare. You can actually get a free account from Cloudflare if you didn't know at the most basic level. So with that, I am a big fan of where this is going. I'm not a big fan of how AI is essentially ripping us off. And quite frankly, I would much rather have the artificial intelligences looking at, ways to, solve cancer or take away tasks or, go through my fridge and figure out what I'm low on and then order it, for me and, those kinds of things, as opposed to actually creating stuff for me, which is, I think, the way it should be. So we'll see where this goes. But that is your AI/bot fight of the week. And please like, share, follow me here and on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. Sorry, still under the weather. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. Please ring that bell. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.